Welcome back to the Wasted Local Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Daniel, and I'm here with Josiah,
the other host,
Michael,
Yeet,
and Britni.
Hi there.
And also Sloan.
Please don't lick
faked
that.
us out.
She just tried to put the microphone in her mouth.
She'll be sick for a year.
So, I'm kind of distracted because of the baby.
it's
But
okay.
let's go over. It was a fun week for me,
For
other
you.
than Dallas,
I think it was the best fantasy week
ever.
in the season.
Well, it's best
mean-
fantasy week in the history.
I'm not proud of my win, but I won, and my team won. So
That's Michael.
I was listening. Yeah, you gotta get closer to the microphone.
No, I'm kidding.
It's all echoey. Anyway,
I'm
but yeah,
sorry. I'm holding a baby.
It's all right. We'll let it slide this week.
Well, that's your own fault.
Yeah. And
Big
more
truth.
ways than one. Yeah, she even thinks it's funny. But yeah, I was listening to a couple different podcasts, and I guess this week was like the top fantasy week almost ever for players scoring over 40 points. It was insane.
I know because I have another league, and I faced 3 receivers that all scored over 40 points. I didn't have a chance.
Jeez.
It was bad. And I didn't do poorly. I scored like 140 points in a non-PPR league. They just absolutely
insane.
They scored 171.
Yeah.
But
It's like you
enough
had,
about that one. Yeah.
like McCaffrey, Fuller, Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I forget who they had. They just all went off.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm
you know
saying
who
in general.
didn't go off is the guy on Nathan's
Mike
team.
Evans?
Yeah.
Mike, we'll get into that. Mike Evans and Greg Olson. What a terrible week for them in general. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into what happened this week
ESPN
in
uploading.
our.
ESPN uploading. Hold on.
No, you're good. I've got it up on the screen there too, just for the beginning. So
I know.
once
I'm
you
just
actually
letting
get it loaded,
people know how my week went.
I'm sure we could get you like a laptop or something for next week to
No,
use.
it's
Jed
fine.
keeps his here.
I'm
That
just saying.
app is so bad.
I'm
Dude,
just
it's
saying
terrible.
The app is bad.
Yeah, ESPN.
That
Fix
was
your
my
app.
point. That was my point.
But
Hi.
yeah, before we get started, which keep forgetting to mention that we're not affiliated with the NFL yet.
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 Keep that in mind.
But okay, so let's start at the top here. And as always, because I'm on my page, it's going to be my team and what I did. And we have a runaway baby. But Hover Around Genocide, my team.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the run. You were the runaway baby because you scored so many
He
points.
acts like a runaway baby.
Dude, like, you guys hadn't seen Butthurt until this week, okay? Like, I've been in such a piss poor mood all week. But yeah, I beat Roger, which, you know,
Surprise.
it was my bye week. 151 to 113.4.
Good for Roger though. 113.
Yeah, I mean, Roger's not doing bad now. Like, he's actually, you know, breaking the 100-point mark. But DJ Chark, though. Oh, God, what happened?
Oh, we had a wreck.
Oh. But yeah, DJ Chark finally pulled through for me. McCaffrey, obviously. And I left some points on my bench. And
Yeah.
if I would have started Matt Ryan and Gallup, I would have scored really close to 200 points. It's
Sheesh.
crazy.
Roger has Tevin Coleman, who looked good last night, and Gardner
Yeah.
Minshew. And who knows what Drew Brees or Golden Tate are going to do once they return. But
I mean, Golden Tate didn't do much this week, but they were playing Minnesota. So
I think Rodgers in full on try to win the consolation bracket mode. I mean,
at this point, he's going to have
can we
to
have
be.
the funeral for Rodgers' team? Is he out of the playoffs?
If we're going to funeral for anybody's team, it's going to be Jess's team.
Are you sure?
But yeah, because
Mine.
oh, Brittany.
well,
Brittany's here.
the thing is that there's more potential on your team, Brittany,
Yeah.
than Jess's team, and Jess just had a good week. But we'll get into that.
we'll
one a
hold
bit,
our
though,
first funeral next week.
Yeah. We'll hold a funeral next week, a eulogy. Michael's really good with words, so we'll have him write up a eulogy for whichever team that we pick. But yeah, I defeated
It's
Roger.
just going to end up being a poem from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a Vogon poem.
What about your Phallic Fields one? That was a good one. I mean,
Give it away.
that's not from it. Okay. Anyway, so that was that game. Next on the list, we've got unsolicited DAC picks. Josiah defeating VH Chalupa Batman and a giggling baby. 139 to 94.
I am dying. This is the Sloan podcast. But I did win, and I'm happy about it.
I can't stop.
So is Sloan.
Yeah, I guess she is happy about it.
Thielen is alive and well. Finally scored some points. Russell Wilson's great.
Russell Wilson is low-key.
He's the MVP of the season
He's
as
not.
of right
It's
now.
not low key though. Like,
He's the
just
MVP
good.
right now.
Well, I mean, everybody's talking about him, but I mean, it's between him and McCaffrey, hands
Yeah,
down.
I think so.
It's got to be. Somebody threw out, I forget what I was watching, but somebody threw out somebody else.
Well, they were probably wrong.
Yeah. I was like, no.
Unless it was a defensive player.
No, it wasn't a defensive
Shaq
player.
Barrett's got like 15 sacks already this season.
Yeah, he's balling out.
But, Kamara didn't do very much, 13.9. Chubb didn't do very much, 10. Hopkins did 12.3, which is way better than McCole Hardman's -4 left.
That's more points than he ever got me combined.
Yeah, I know. So I didn't have anybody necessarily go off except for Thielen. I just had everybody do solid, which I'm excited for. I like that.
I'm interested to see if Thielen will keep it up. I mean, I know that all the drama up in Minnesota with like Stephon Diggs and Thielen being mad at Kirk
Diggs gets
Cousins.
traded, then Thielen's your only guy.
Well, yeah,
And
but
he might get some numbers.
they also played one of the worst defenses.
That's true.
This past week. So.
I also have Jarvis Landry and Cameron Sutton on my bench who have been doing great. And
Yeah,
Mike Williams has been battling injury all season, and he would be my starter if he wasn't. So I think suck it, Bruce, because you and your stupid green text. Although Leonard Fournette did do well. And
until you get an iPhone, Bruce, you will continue to lose.
yeah,
Mark my words.
suck it.
Unless you're playing Jed, which I think it's who he's playing next week. But anyway.
Ouch.
All right. So next we have
I just want to paint a picture of what's going on right now. Michael is running back and forth between baby and microphone.
yeah.
And just yeeting words out into the microphone. So this is entertaining to watch. All right, that's all.
Okay, so we're going to skip the next one that's on here because we're going to go to that one last because it was great. Next, we've got, unfortunately, Bald Bear Fighter defeating Britni, 149.6 to 120.9.
I didn't do too bad.
I thought you were going to win this one about midway through Sunday.
Except Mahomes hadn't played yet.
And then Aaron Jones happened.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Mahomes didn't do great. He had under 20 points considering, how he typically does.
It was Philadelphia's defense and Aaron Jones combining for math, which is like a lot of points.
80.7 points?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's almost as much as Rodgers scores every week.
That's truth.
If Philadelphia scores even like 20 points and Aaron Jones doesn't score 4 touchdowns, he only scores 3 touchdowns, then Britni might win.
Yeah.
This is just unfortunate.
I
Considering
wanted her to win.
he scored,
Bias.
well, no, I wanted you to win.
You're right. I hate Jed. That was biased.
And the fact that like Jed's flex scored 0 points and he still put up 150 points, just
His team is good, and I was hoping that Britni would get the win just from a standings perspective because
same.
the standings are getting closer and closer, and so I need Jed to lose. He's the only guy that's beat me all season.
So, Brittany, do you have any thoughts on your defeat this week?
Well,
Not a
thanks
single
for
damn thought. No.
Not a single damn thought. I mean, Deshaun Watson, though.
He did
Yeah,
well.
you actually put points up for me for once.
Juju did something. Your first round pick.
Truth.
I see where you dropped Valdez Scantling.
I did.
Yeah.
He hasn't been doing anything for me.
No. Well, Aaron Rodgers isn't doing too hot as a quarterback, so.
Aaron Rodgers is putting up the yards. Aaron Jones is just scoring all the touchdowns. He scored 4.
Well, yeah. He scored all their touchdowns this past week.
That's what happened to Drew Brees last year. Kamara was scoring all the touchdowns and Ingram, and Drew Brees wasn't getting any passing touchdowns. He's still doing great in the yards.
All right.
Next.
So that was that game. So then next we have Michael, the chosen one, defeating the Wrath of Quan Nathan.
Suck it, Nathan.
Hi.
Poor Nathan.
Hi.
Nathan needed this win.
113.9 to 97.6.
I really thought I was going to lose this week.
You always
And I
think you're gonna
should've.
lose.
Well, maybe that's why I win.
Yeah. No, this was one of those where Michael was lucky to play Nathan in the week that he did, because besides Nathan, I think Michael would have beat Bruce and maybe Roger. He would beat Roger by 0.5 points. Everybody else would have beat Michael this week. So in classic Bill Bonnercheck fashion, fuck yourself.
He's still in my phone as Billy Belichick with a picture of Bill Belichick. It's
Yeah.
hilarious, especially whenever he calls me, because this big picture of a pissed off Belichick pops up.
But hey, a win.
That's great.
A win is a win, and Michael's 4-1.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, not really much to say. I mean, it wasn't a great matchup. I mean, Nathan had Mike Evans and Greg Olson, which was the deciding factor in him
Do
losing.
nothing.
It was a relatively even match, though, because we had all my running backs did crap. Marlon Mack and Ezekiel Elliott and Melvin Gordon all did nothing. And then you had,
I mean,
all
Marlon Mack
the-
and Elliott both got you over 16 points, though.
Cooper
yeah,
Kupp
but
did
in
22.
these are all three supposed to be the all-stars. Like they're all supposed to be the 20. None of them scored their projections at all. So
Marlon Mack did.
Kupp and Kittle both did well for you,
Kupp
and
did great. Kittle did awesome. He
New
always
England's
does great.
defense. Shout
Yeah,
out
but
to
then
Josh.
but like I said, I mean, it just wasn't. It was a decent week, but all these people like Keenan Allen yet again did nothing this week.
This is the
Denver's
second.
defense just stopped them. They
Yeah.
couldn't do shit against that defense for the first time this year. Somebody couldn't.
It happens. Like I said, I thought I was going to lose this. I really did. But 49ers, my faithful, came through.
Yeah.
So
This is
proud.
your third or fourth week where you're down on your team because they didn't do well, but you still won, which is good for you. Because if your team ever does start to do well, say around playoff season when you need them to do well, you're gonna be in the playoffs. So
Yes.
I know
That's what you just
kind
said.
of sucks. Yeah. It's-
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that was theirs, Michael's and Nathan's. And we're going to get on to the last game.
The closest game.
Jeez. So, I'm not going to give the score out yet, but I just want to kind of describe what happened last night, because Josh on Sunday was beating Jess.
By 0.1, I think.
No, he had like 130 some points on Sunday. Overnight they adjusted things and shot him back down to like 124.
Yes, they took a touchdown away from one of his teammates.
Yeah, which
Players.
I
or something.
haven't.
I don't know who
looked
it
at-
was. I don't know who it was.
I haven't looked at the adjustments, but anyway, so it left Josh with only one player, which was San Francisco's kicker. And if anybody watched that game, knows that he didn't do too hot.
I
He
think
comes
Josh
out-
needed 5 points.
He needed 5 points to win. The kicker comes out, kicks an extra point,
Another extra point.
another extra point, so that
Looking
puts him
good.
up 2.
Looking good.
They goes down, kicks a field goal, misses,
Missed.
takes a point away.
-1.
Goes down, kicks another field goal,
Misses.
misses.
-1.
Yeah, so that puts him at 0 points.
Kicks an extra point.
Kicks an extra point,
Back up.
back up 1. Kicks
Blocked field goal.
blocked field goal, -1.
Oh, I was dying.
And he kicks another. I think because he kicked 4 extra points,
Missed 3 field
missed
goals.
3 field goals, and then finally came back and kicked a field goal from over 40 yards. So it gave him 4 points. So he just narrowly skated by.
129.8 to 129.7.
It was amazing.
This
Hi.
Is, hi. This is our second week
You're
in a row.
excited about that too, aren't you? You
Decided
want
by
to talk on the mic?
0.1. Oh, she's set.
Okay, I guess not. But yeah,
Second week in a row, 0.1 point.
0.1 points.
It's crazy.
And
Josh didn't deserve it. Because Jess started the Rams defense that got -1.
-1 point.
My goodness, Jess.
You could have sat your defense and won. You could have sat your defense and won. How does that make you feel?
I mean,
You look like you're going to attack me.
she chose Jed.
She's like,
how can we really trust her to choose a fantasy team?
That's true. That's so true. And to say in the same fashion, she's got one of the worst teams in the league, just like she's got one
They
of the
did
worst
well
husbands
this
in
week,
existence.
though.
They did, but she still lost.
This is her week.
It doesn't matter. Hi.
Hi.
Put your shirt down.
Both
Michael.
of you. Michael and the baby.
Learning from your dad. So yeah, that's this week's rundown. On to this week's winners and losers.
Yeah.
I don't really know who my winners and losers are, so I'm going to let somebody else go first.
I'm going to go first, and I'm going to make you my winner.
Yay!
Because
Finally, somebody picks me as a winner. It's the only time in my life.
you lost 2 in a row, didn't you?
Won't
So,
happen again.
You kind of needed this win.
I
Your
definitely needed this
team
win.
scored the most points in the league. Your team's looking good, but you needed this win because you would have been 2 games out of the playoffs. If not, my loser is going to be Nathan because his team, if the scenario goes like this, if Roger beats Daniel and Bruce beats Josiah and Jess beats Josh and Brittany beats Jed and Nathan beats Michael, Nathan's in first place. The exact opposite of that happened.
Exact opposite of what needed to happen happened.
And Nathan is in 6th place. So he
Man.
was not
Man.
far off from...
Because he was in what, second place last week or third place?
Yeah.
He was up there.
He was up there, and he's 3-2 now. He would have been 4-1 and in the lead in the division, and he would have been first place. Instead, he's 2 games out of the playoffs. So,
Man.
Nathan, if Mike Evans would have gotten you anything and just would have sat the Rams defense and just, I don't know, Garoppolo wouldn't have thrown that touchdown pass to Kittle. And it's just little. I mean, you blew Roger out of the water. There's probably nothing holding back on that one, but the rest of the games weren't far off. It was just some
Other than
fluke things that happen.
Other than you blowing Bruce out of the water.
I beat Bruce pretty solidly, but I also had some players score close to 40 points.
Yeah.
Jed won pretty solidly, but he also had some players score over 40 points. So fluke things happen. Mike Evans, who scored 41 points and beat you, scored 0 points and beat Nathan. So Nathan, suck it. You're in 6th place.
That's kind of almost like karmic payback for him talking shit on beating me last week.
Yeah. The only thing he's beating right now is himself.
Brittany, do you have any winners and losers?
Any winners? Let's pretend I know anything about this game.
You can pick one person who you think outplayed themselves and did really, really well, and you pick one person who just sucked. And I know, like, typically, you know, we always have to, like...
We always pick Roger because he sucks the most.
I mean, he kicked my ass. So,
Oh,
I mean,
yikes.
let's go there. Okay, so for this past week,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but, you know, try to get you more
I
involved.
guess, Daniel, I'd pick for the winner because you
Yeet.
kicked all of our ass.
Yep. I mean, if I would have played Jed, it would have been close, but I still would have won.
Yeah.
By narrowly, but...
Let's see who else. And then I think I would have to go with Nathan as well.
I made a strong argument.
Right?
I mean, that's a good argument. I mean, 2 of your players not doing anything, and then
Everything
that
else
was the
going
deciding,
wrong.
Yeah, that
I
was the
mean,
deciding factor.
Yeah. Other than that, I have nothing else. I have no time to pay attention to what's going on.
You need Sloan to teach Sloan how to fantasy football.
Yeah.
I mean, watch how quickly she's bouncing back from doors. Like, this is what I do during the day.
All right, Michael, do you have any?
Josiah's my winner,
Yes.
only because I don't want Daniel to sweep winners.
I mean, I wasn't going
And
to pick
he
myself.
just obliterated Bruce. So
Week
the other
one,
reason he's my winner though is because week after week after week he overblows his projections, and
true.
it's not just a he beat a crappy team, because Bruce's team isn't terrible. They just didn't have a good week. He just always scores high. So it was another good week. So he's my winner this week.
I won our trade this week. I mean, it's still early, But
Yeah, I mean, everyone anticipated that he wasn't going to get a big haul this
Yeah.
week. So, and the team just did terrible in general.
yeah, Eckler had
Chargers, that
15
is.
catches though, and Eckler's not going to keep getting 15 catches. I hope he does, but that's just he'll set records if he does.
So, my loser this week, I am gonna have to go. Looking at the board, just gonna have to go with Bruce.
Good, suck it, Bruce.
Bruce just was he won? He 1-4 now.
Yep. 1-4.
Bottom of the barrel, just like his life.
Hey, I'm 1-4.
Well,
Well, look at your.
you married me. There's other reasons you're at bottom of the barrel. Yeah, his team sucked. 94 points. Learn to play the game, Bruce. Learn to
He
play the
did.
game.
He was the low scorer of the week.
It's tough to be you, man.
Feels bad.
Feels bad.jpg. That's it.
Well, I mean,
Well,
I'm gonna pick myself for the winner. Only
Surprise!
Well, no, only because the past 2 weeks I've scored barely over 100 points.
yeah, you need it this week.
And the fact that, like what you said a little bit ago, if I wouldn't have won, I'd be 2 games away from first place. I'd be sitting at 2-3, and that would not be
Two
good.
games away from the playoffs.
Playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, not just first.
Yeah. So, I mean, I needed this and I needed the points because you and Jed are both closing in on points.
DJ Chark. Did
DJ
really
Chark
well.
finally pulled through for me.
Jed and I are only about 4 points apart.
Yeah.
I think I'm. Yeah, he's not far behind me.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit, but I really needed this game. So, and it's not because it's me. If it was anybody else, I would have picked them. But yeah, I really needed this win. And my loser,
Is Jed? Because no, I'm kidding.
I was going to, and I looked at his team and I was like, but there's really nothing I can say. Nothing I can say other than the fact that Mahomes is hurt, which could potentially suck for him. But I mean, did we all pick Bruce as the loser?
I picked Nathan.
You picked Nathan.
She picked Nathan.
Nathan.
You picked Bruce. Yeah, I'm going to give to Bruce too, because fuck Bruce. And I'm giving it to you. Not you could have even won, and I would have still given it to you because you don't have an iPhone. So
Ugh.
that's
You hate
why,
to see it.
That's why you get my loser.
I texted
Of the
Daniel
week.
on the way here, and I was like, "Yeet, what's up?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I'm just texting you to see what's going on." And then as I'm driving into civilization from out in the woods where I live, I start getting all these green messages about what's going on. So I felt like an idiot because I didn't know what was going on. Screw you, Bruce.
Well, I guess in Josiah's case, you hate to not see it.
I do. Also in Jed's case.
So true.
Jed, you might be the fan. You might not ever be the fantasy loser, but you're always the real loser.
Yeah. So true. All right. So next, we'll get on to our league standings.
Drum roll, please.
Again. So at number 1, sitting at 4-1, we have Josiah unsolicited DAC picks.
By 4 points.
Hey, calm down over there.
Michael.
Yeah, and then number 2, we've got Michael at 4-1,
With 555 points. 100 less points than everybody else.
and he also, let's just throw this out there that the points against him are the lowest in the league.
Both years that I won, it was the exact same way.
Well.
He's not wrong. Like I said, you win the bad ones and you
Yep.
make the playoffs. That's all you need. Make
Yep.
the playoffs.
Number 3, we've got Jed, Bald Bear Fighter, at 4-1. Number 4, we have me, Hover on Genocide, at 3-2. Number 5, Team King Dingus at 3-2. Number 6, as Josiah stated before, Nathan, the Wrath of Quan, at 3-2. And the bottom of the barrel. Hey, at least you're the best of the worst, Britni. Number 7,
For now.
Britni, at 1-4. Then we've got Jess, Team Hairless, at 1-4. VH Loop of Batman, Bruce, who is inching closer and closer to that number 10 spot, at 1-4. And again, Roger, bringing up the rear with the lowest points. He is 43 points away from the closest person in points this year.
As
So
bad as some of the teams have done this year, they're all pretty even. We made a rule was it 2 years ago, where it used to be 10th place would get the number 1 pick the following year.
Yeah, and then I tanked my team on purpose to get the number 1 pick.
He completely lost out because he wasn't going to make the playoffs, and he decided to. He didn't bench everybody, but he started like 14 kickers. No, I'm kidding. And he got
there was one
number
game
1
where
overall pick.
I pulled people off my team and just benched them because I was like,
why we changed the rules.
And so we changed the rule that if you want the first overall pick, it's okay if you don't make the playoffs, but you have to win the consolation round.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking, there's some teams like Britney's team that hasn't done very well record-wise, but might be a favorite going into the consolation bracket.
Now, everybody, keep in mind that we don't stop our league at like, 12, 13 weeks like most people do to go? No. Or like 10 weeks like most people do to start the playoffs. We play to week 13.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. We should
And then
probably have looked this up.
that's the playoffs.
No, so
Because you get
we took
14 and
off-
15 for the first round, and then 16 and 17 for the last round.
No, I changed it this year. I took off week 17 and 16, so that way people weren't having dumped players.
Yeah.
So
Thank you
it
for
only
doing
goes
that, because that was
it only goes to 15. So now there's only 1 week in the playoffs.
That's where people were sitting out.
There's only
week
1 week in
17.
the
Or
playoffs
sorry, 1 week per round.
per round. So
Yeah.
instead of 2 weeks, okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
Because I was still under the assumption that we were doing it the same.
Did we ever explain how our snake draft works? So like it's a snake draft, but the person who wins the consolation bracket gets the number 1 pick.
Yeah, he was just
then the
saying that.
person that gets second place, or sorry, last place gets the next pick.
Yeah.
So it just and then it goes all the way down to the person that goes
Yeah.
first place.
Okay, so that was the league standings. Was there any smack talk this week that, other than me?
I want to give
Exiting.
a shout out to Bruce for what was said in the chat just a little bit ago.
I missed it.
It was hilarious. I know most other people saw it. It was talking about who was going to be on the show tonight. And Nathan said, I probably won't be able to anymore. I have the kids every day until Reese gets off. And then Bruce chimes in and says, which is never since you're her husband.
Oh.
And then Nathan said, don't know what that means, but okay. So clearly he didn't even get it. So that makes it even funnier.
Oh, man.
Or he didn't want to admit that he got it.
He obviously doesn't get it
Nathan, listen.
in more ways than one.
The term get off can mean more than one thing. You can get off of work, you can get off of me, or you can get on me. You know what I
Get
mean?
off on your mom.
Okay.
No,
I
that's
like
Jed's
Jed
mom.
and his mom as dogs in that one meme.
Yes.
I will not say. All right, so Daniel was complaining last week that nobody ever wants to trade with him. So he sent me a trade offer today. I'm going to protect the names of the innocent. I turned down the trade, but like you,
No,
listen, 2 weeks
no, because what you countered with was some
let him finish.
some
How do you counter?
fucking
That's
hot
how this
garbage.
I didn't counter yet. Hold on. So
You did via text.
Michael and I had probably 4 or 5 different things before we settled on a trade last week, and we did good business together. Daniel said, "You turned down my trade, you slut." Threw it back, and I said, "It was a bad trade, you whore." And so he just went in and threatened to hit me with a bag full of Andre the Giant's
No,
dick.
I told you to eat a satchel.
Andre the Giant.
I told you to eat a satchel of dicks, and then I said an Andre the Giant sized man, or
I don't even remember.
yeah, I don't know. But okay, so to throw this trade out there, I offered him Calvin Ridley for Will Dissly, which neither of them are great week to week. They both have ups, they both have downs, and he was like, I'll give you Dissly for McCaffrey. And I was like, go fuck yourself.
I was joking, very obviously. But no, I just
It's like Nathan. He proposes all these ridiculous trades, just thinking that he's smarter than everyone else at fantasy.
he's
When I-
actually not.
Yeah, he offered me, what was it,
He
last
might
week?
be, but there's still a threshold you have to meet on these trades. Like,
I mean, he offered me, who's the Wayne Gallman for Sammy Watkins last week.
Yeah,
I'll be the first to admit that Nathan knows more about football than I would probably say a good 90% of the people in this.
Oh, no, yeah.
football
I'm not
that we're
denying
playing
that at
with,
all.
But your trades still suck.
No, your
Jesus, is she playing beer pong over there?
She's just yeeting cups across the room.
Teach him early.
Your trade was good. I just didn't need. I don't need a receiver. I've got.
I mean, that's fair.
4 or 5 different receivers doing the same thing. But that's my trash talk of the week because you immediately went into name calling, and that's just bad business. And so I think
fine.
you hurt yourself.
Daniel being butthurt?
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, nothing can out butt hurt Sunday night whenever I got really pissed. What I said in the chat, sent a couple gifts, and then
During
hardcore
the
just
Dallas
left.
Game, I literally messaged the chat and I was like, so is Daniel still alive? Like,
All right.
I got pissed and left the studio and
Disclaimer.
drove home.
If you're listening to this right now, the episode that we recorded the intro for
This Thursday's episode
drops Thursday was the
It's the
worst
most depressing.
worst intro we've ever done. Mason Rudolph is half dead, laying on the field. The Cowboys are losing by 17
The
points.
entire Cowboys team is laying dead
Oh my
on the
gosh.
field.
And Daniel gets up to leave. And I was like, dude, we have to do the intro. And we sit down and we're just like,
It was at halftime.
intro. So we apologize. We're actually excited for Jason Lennox. It was a very good interview.
Yeah, so stay tuned for
I
that.
apologize.
Enough
I'm
about-
in a better mood now, even though my team still sucks. So does
Yeah.
Daniel's. But at least
That's all right.
my third string quarterback is better than Daniel's first string quarterback.
Okay. All right. So there wasn't any trades that happened this past week that we haven't already talked about. So we'll go into the final standing projections.
Bruce offered me a trade and then deleted it before I could see it, so
Really?
it must
It
have
must
been
have been
pretty
bad. So, all right. So in the final standing projections, we'll move top to bottom here. Josh, Team King Dingus, is now projected to finish 5th place. Hover Around Genocide, me, I am still projected at number 1. The Wrath of Quan Nathan is now projected at number 6. Bald Bear Fighter, which is Jed, is projected at number 4. Team Hairless Jess is projected at number 7. I'm sorry, Britni. Mind Flayer Bonner Britni is projected to finish last.
Oh, I know.
Well, at least she's going to get it to finish.
I still have faith.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not butthurt about it or
It's
anything.
still early.
All right. I'm tender still.
Still tender. VH Loop of Batman is now sitting at number 8. Unsolicited DAC Picks is sitting at number 3. The Chosen One, Michael, is sitting at number 2.
Hell yeah.
And Injured Reserve, Roger, is still at 9. He moved up a spot last week, and he's
No
sitting
news
there.
is good news.
Oh,
Yep.
hey, Bruce, I just looked it up. It's not actually a bad trade. I mean, I might have to... No, we'll talk. But I'm going to have to Facebook message you because I can't text you. Stupid Bruce.
Stupid Bruce. All right.
Famous last words?
No, we got to go into the matchups.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
matchups.
I'm just tired.
No, you're good. You're good. All right. So, this week's matchups. First on the list, Team Hairless, Jess, versus Hover Around Genocide, me.
Ooh.
Now,
Jess.
everybody wants Daniel to lose. It's on the fucking trophy.
I want
Did we ever say what's on the trophy?
It is on the, I don't think so.
Yeah, the side of the trophy has a plaque on it that says, what exactly does it say?
Nobody ever really wanted to win. We all just wanted Daniel to lose. A quote by the infamous Abraham Lincoln.
We
That's
should
what it
change
says.
that to Jed.
Yeah, it's starting to pull that way. I mean, based on matchups, I honestly think that I've got this game pretty in the bag.
I think you do pretty well. And Jess has Allen Robinson on a bye, which she's probably not going to check. She still has the Rams defense facing the 49ers, who just ran for 3,000 yards last night.
Yeah.
So she's probably not going to change that. She has some good, decent, I don't know, possibly, maybe, but no, she's not because she's Jess.
Yeah.
I actually don't think she's going to win. I think you're going to heartily smoke her by at least 30 to 40 points.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean, I've got Jackson versus Cincinnati, which I think it'll be his bounce back week.
Tampa Bay has been shutting down running backs all year, and McCaffrey's facing them.
Yeah, but it's McCaffrey. And they open up massive holes. But they do have a good run-stopping defense. So
Yeah.
it might not be McCaffrey's best week, but I still think he'll get me at least 16 to 20 points.
DJ Shark versus New Orleans.
That's the one thing that worries me.
Not great for you. Robert Woods versus San Francisco.
That's probably not going to be there. I've got some waiver wire
Yeah.
stuff I'm doing.
That San Francisco defense looked nasty last night.
It did.
Dude,
Just throwing it out there.
Nick Bosa.
Oh man. Nick Bosa.
He's a boss.
Michael Gallup versus the Jets. I mean, he did amazing against the Packers.
You have the unenviable task. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different people that I see on here projected between 10 and 11 points, and you have to pick which one that's actually going to do well.
Well, I'm probably going to, Woods is going to be on my bench. There's no way I'm going to start him. I'm probably going to put in Ridley versus
I'm
Arizona.
saying whoever you put on your bench is going to do well. It's just fact. It's the way it goes.
I don't know.
I don't know. I hope Woods doesn't do well because that increases Cooper Kupp's chance of doing well.
Against that defense, Woods actually might be a pretty good start.
Brittany, give
considering.
us your insight.
I'm paying attention to the baby.
You can't skate through life on that
Bullshit.
excuse.
I'm chasing her around.
I've got Cookie.
Who do you think's going to win?
I mean, Daniel, unfortunately.
Well, fuck me,
just
right?
the numbers he puts up every week compared to Jess's.
I mean, Daniel has laid some clunkers 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Before,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
it's
We've
not,
all heard about it.
If she does another 129.7 points, 130.7 points, if she sits the Rams defense, she could do it.
Yeah,
But-
there's a chance.
But Daniel,
Yeah.
who's next?
All right. So next. Ooh. I hope that next week I remember not to say beat because one of you two is going to lose. Michael versus Brittany. Like last week's episode where I kept saying Jed beat his wife, and that was just awful.
Well,
Awful
maybe
podcasting.
it'll stay true to real life, and Brittany will beat me.
That's a joke. That's a joke, NFL, if you're listening. Actually, you guys don't seem to care about that. Help me. It's fine. It's fine.
It's not a joke. Please help.
Well,
All right.
Brittany, you've got some empty spots on your.
I
You've got 3 empty
do.
spots on your
I
roster
need
right now.
defense.
She's got some
Yeah.
bye weeks. Oh, Michael's
Low
got some
key.
bye weeks.
Low key, grab Dallas's defense against the Jets after seeing what the Phillies defense did
Don't
to
listen
him.
to a Dallas fan. on that one.
Remember?
No,
Yeah, true
I've
story.
got. I mean, I'm trying to pick him up, and I know that you'll probably get him before me because I'm
Remember
like
what
last in the
happened when
waivers.
she started all the players you set to start like 2 weeks ago, and her bench scored 200 points?
Well,
I think she's second on the waiver wire, so
am second.
chances are Bruce isn't going to do anything. So
yeah.
I don't know. Bruce has put some moves in. He's picking up people like Adrian Peterson and Rob Gronkowski. And
Well, let's not encourage this if he listens
Jerry
to this.
Rice. Jerry Rice might be out there, and Antonio Brown is definitely out there.
might have to wait until there's a. Was that your foot?
That was my toe.
Oh, I thought that was the baby under the table. I was like, shit. I don't know. I think that if Brittany does some moving around and depending on who she gets from waivers, I think that she could possibly win this. Kansas City's defense sucks.
Juju
Deshaun Watson
Smith-Schuster
can go
finally
off.
showed up last week. I mean, he's got the third string quarterback in there, but if you watch the Steelers game, that guy had zero fear. He might throw 6 interceptions next week, but he
Well,
might throw 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and dude, if Flacco can do
they pick up Nathan Peterman.
if Flacco can beat the Chargers, I think that
That's fair.
that
The Steelers. Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty, whatever his name is, can beat him.
Let's go Duck.
How do you two
Listen,
feel?
on
I mean,
that-
you guys
on
are
that
playing, and
topic-
neither of you guys are saying anything. So
Yeah, but on that topic, I will say the same thing. I hate Joe Flacco with a passion. I hate his old team with a passion. I don't really care for his new team. Like I said, he's just one of those people that he doesn't seem like he cares about football, but then he'll randomly come out and have like a 40-point week, and he's just like, whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to say that I'm going to win, but like my team has just been letting me down so much lately that I can't speculate how this is going to go one way or the other. I really can't. I haven't looked at the matchups yet as far as like player per player, so I can't even comment on that yet either. So I've
Your
been super
matchups
busy.
aren't great. You have two people going against the Steelers whose defense has been doing really well despite their offense is not doing well. You have Garoppolo who's facing the Rams, and I mean the Rams defense has been doing terrible. So you need
As long as he can keep up the short passes to the
Garoppolo
running
and
backs,
Kittle.
I think he'll be okay.
but
That and like Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler didn't do shit this week.
yeah. So
So,
you have Mac on a bye.
yep.
You have Hauschka on a bye.
I'm already scoping for. The kickers aren't going to be a problem.
The
but
New
I'm already
England
scoping for
defense,
someone else.
though, is facing the Giants, and so you're going to score 64 points. So shout out to Josh.
Here's hoping.
Well, we'll know on Thursday, shit, that you could have 40 or 50 points by the end of Thursday night. But yeah,
I said I hope I win, but I mean I'm not hopeful.
I think I honestly think this will be Brittany's week. I think she can pull
Britni,
it out.
come on, Britni. Come on, Britni.
I think she
I
can.
have my
Wait,
moments.
no.
these
Let's
guys-
go, Brit.
Again, 2 weeks in a row with the inappropriate
Keep in
comments.
mind these guys of course want you to win because that knocks me out of the 4-1.
Yes,
So-
that's
Well,
exactly
yeah,
why.
I mean, yeah, but I honestly think that she can actually pull
also
this out.
because I hate you. No, I'm kidding.
You hate me or you hate him?
No, I actually love both of you. I wish it hurt my heart when you both went off the market. Ruined my whole day.
All right, so next we have the Wrath of Quan, Nathan versus Injured Reserve Roger. I think this is the closest projected game.
It's only about a point
Yeah,
difference.
a little bit over a point. But I don't.
I want to say Roger. I do. Amari Cooper against the Jets is good for him. Austin Hooper versus Arizona is good for him. But
Devontae
Gardner
Freeman.
Minshew versus New Orleans is
Yeah, that
not
could be
good.
bad.
Coleman, though, could do some work against the Rams. But also the Rams could
They
do
just
some work.
split the offense though. They have 3 people. They give it to Juszczyk, they give it to Breida, and they give
Use
it to
checks out,
Coleman.
bro.
Tyreek Hill is
Not confirmed all week. though.
maybe back next week. I don't know.
Yeah, they were saying that he could possibly start this coming week,
so
which would be big for Roger. Maybe, depending on if Patrick Mahomes' legs still bothering him, they might sit him
but Brady
because
versus
he
the
did
Giants.
not. He did not do well after
Right,
he
well,
re-aggravated
they're,
it.
they're 5-0 right now.
No, they're 4-1.
Sorry, 4-1 still. It's a who they playing against?
They're playing against Houston.
I don't know if there's no need, they're not going to push it.
Yeah, but you know,
I think
mean,
Nathan has it based on matchups, though.
I mean, matchups. Yeah, I could see Nathan winning, but I also think that there's a good chance. I mean, I think this will be one of the closer games. This might be another 1 point game.
Yeah,
Stan
I
kinda-
believe I Gardner Minshew given points can't vote against him. Going with Roger.
yeah,
You take the points with the mustache.
yeah,
screw-
and dude, okay, so if Tom Brady is up by 28 on the Giants at the half, he's not going to play the rest of that game.
Yeah, he will because he's a jerk and he just wants to run.
Wow,
the
that's
score.
true.
Brittany, give
They
us your
do that.
insight.
I don't have any insight on this game. I think it'll be close. I mean, it's a crapshoot with these players.
Yeah, just because it's going to be close, we want to clarify. That doesn't actually mean that these teams are both good. They're close because they're both really bad.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, there's no superstar players on here that's going to throw one or the other over.
I want Roger to win,
I mean, I want Roger to win.
but then again, I kind of want Nathan to win because if Roger wins, I got to listen to the season's over, guys, the whole time. At least Roger's already accepted that the season's over.
Does Roger sound like Patrick Starr in your head? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's a yes.
That
That's
was
a,
Nathan, by the way.
Oh,
But also, yes.
It runs in the family. All of them get butt hurt. And we all hear about it.
mega
yeah.
butthurt.
That's why.
Butthurt boners.
Yeah.
That's all right. Okay, so next up, we have VH Loop of Batman, Bruce, versus the Crying Baby, Jed. I'm looking at this, and I actually think Bruce is going to win.
Really?
You got Edelman against the Giants.
Maybe. Fournette's had over 20 points a couple times in a row here, but he is facing New Orleans.
Washington, Adrian Peterson versus Miami. Now, with them firing Jay Gruden, they said they're going to go back to the run game, and that's potential for Peterson to go off.
Maybe.
And against Miami, there's a good chance. Leonard Fournette will be the bell cow for Minshew this week because of New Orleans defense.
So Jed is at the disadvantage of having Chicago's defense on a bye. That's the number one projected defense. New England's actually the number one defense as of right now, but he's going to need Mahomes to Kelsey a lot this week. Just Cooks is facing San Francisco. Aaron Jones is facing Detroit, who's been doing really well. Carlos Hyde is hit or miss, just depending on where they go with that offense. So I could see it. And
I think that, because Dak Prescott, he put up. Why? I really hate
Ads on ESPN.
God, go away. So Dak Prescott threw 3 interceptions on Sunday. He still put up 23 fantasy points.
That's true. He's a
Against
fantasy
Green Bay.
quarterback. He's
Yeah.
a good fantasy quarterback.
And they're playing the Jets. He could have 450 yards this
That
week.
depends, though, because the Jets' defense with C.J. Mosley, it has been good. Without C.J. Mosley, has been bad. So
Yeah.
depending on if he's healthy enough to play, I think is how well Dak Prescott does.
But if Mahomes doesn't play, then there's not going to be that connection between him and Kelsey. And Jed's backup is Mariota, which,
Serviceable.
yeah.
Serviceable backup.
I honestly think that, I think that Roger needs to find a new defense against Seattle. The Browns will put you in the negative this
This is
week,
Bruce,
boy.
but Roger.
Or Bruce, yeah, sorry.
Roger?
Roger.
Yeah.
They both suck. I get all the shitty teams lumped together.
It's hard.
But I think that, that defense could be an
He's
issue
going to be
for
watching
Bruce.
that Arizona versus Atlanta game closely.
Yeah.
I picked Jed because I just have no faith in Bruce.
I think that I think Bruce is going to get it, honestly.
You know how I do have faith in? Joppy.
Do you sit on front porches, swing life away?
Check out Have Faith in Joppy on YouTube. You won't be disappointed. All one word. Have faith in Joppy.
What? You want to get on the microphone?
This ad has been sponsored by 13 Palm Trees.
And Sloan.
I think she was just yelling obscenities at you, if I'm not
so.
mistaken.
All right, so on to the last matchup of the week. We've got Team King Dingus versus Josiah. Unsolicited Dak picks, sorry.
Whoa, whoa. What do you mean?
I was looking at my phone again.
Okay. If based off of last week, Josh and I have, that was a 10-point difference. And before that, it's probably about a 10, 15-point difference the other way. But both of our teams have been in that 120 to 140 wheelhouse, just about. So
Russell Wilson's going to put up some points this
be
week
great.
for you.
I hope. Myles Garrett might be mad. And that Seattle offensive line is just bad.
Yeah, but, it's Russell Wilson. Like
It is.
It's the same thing with like Aaron Rodgers. Like you can get through, but are you going to catch him before he throws the ball? Probably not.
Chubb versus Seattle defense. Thielen has only done well 1 week. I honestly don't know if I'm going to start him yet.
I don't know. Philly's pass defense kind of sucks.
Juggling it. Well, so does Kirk Cousins.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Eckler, I don't know if I'm going to start. I'm juggling a lot of different things. Josh needs to find a tight end. I don't think he has a tight end. Oh, he has Jimmy Graham. Okay, that's fair.
That can be okay. Against Detroit.
He has the Chargers defense versus a third-string rookie quarterback.
Could put up some points for him.
Might do well. Aaron Rodgers versus Detroit. I don't like it. Godwin versus Carolina. I do like it. So I think this is DeAndre Hopkins' week, and DeAndre Hopkins is going to get me the win.
I could see that. I think that the smart play for Josh would be to start Jameis Winston at Carolina.
Come on, Josh.
This is a big game for standings as well, because
I know. Yeah. Come on, Josh.
Is Josh in 5th place right now? He is.
Yeah, Josh.
I think I'm going to lose this week, so I need all of you guys to lose this week too.
So yeah, I think that with the right plays, Josh could pull this out if he keeps Aaron Rodgers in. that could make or break.
Well, yeah, just
This
based
week?
on like last week, Aaron Jones had 4 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
So it's really just a play call
Yeah.
difference between Aaron Rodgers throwing 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean it's also a divisional game,
Yeah.
so it could be really high scoring and Aaron Rodgers could go off, or it could just be a defensive
9-6 kind of game.
Yeah, so it's really hard to tell. So yeah, I mean, this one's kind of tough.
I want to pick me, and this is me believing that Hopkins is going to do well versus Kansas City's
He's going to
defense.
finally have his game this week.
I think 2 touchdowns, famous last words right there.
So what are you going to do if Hopkins doesn't do anything this week?
Then I'm going to just hope that doesn't happen.
What if he's the deciding factor in whether you win or lose?
He is. I just said that he is. No.
But what if he is? What if it's Sunday night or Monday night or whenever the game's on your team ends? Yeah, all Sunday night.
Then he's going to be disappointed with
Yeah.
his performance like he has been every other week.
No, I was happy with
Fair.
his performance last week. He got me 12 points.
Right, but only because his other performances have been abysmal.
No, because I had McCole Hardman and Adam Thielen before that.
Fair.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know, Chubb versus Seattle kind of worries me, but Kamara versus Jacksonville does not. Hopkins versus Kansas City does not. Ertz versus Minnesota's defense, I think he's going to get me some points. Honestly, this might be the week that I start Disley, though, over Ertz. So I have to decide that.
Unless I can score him in a trade.
Yeah. Christian McCaffrey, and we got it.
Yeah. I'm not going to give you the number 1 running back for like the number 10 tight end. Like,
Seems
again,
fair to me. I don't know.
you
Seems
can
fair.
even Andre.
If
the
they got in a
Giant.
fight against each other, Disley would win.
You should give him Disley and another wide receiver.
I don't need a wide receiver. We'll talk.
I also
Oh,
don't
you
need
should
another
get
wide receiver. I have too many wide receivers. That's why that the last 2 weeks I lost because I didn't know which one to start. I'm trying to off some of them so I can get some.
We're trying to
other players.
do live trades on the podcast here. Brittany's
trades.
just reading over there. I don't know if she's actually reading fantasy or what. Are you
Looking
okay?
at my team.
Okay. Is that why
I'm
you're
listening
is
to
that
you
why you're
guys.
crying?
Crying.
All right, so that was the matchups for this week. So Josiah said,
Famous last words so far for me this season. I was really confident when I picked Mike Williams because he's a touchdown machine and all he does is get red zone targets and score touchdowns. Well, it's week 5 and he's got 0. So I know it's been injured, but as of right now, that might be my biggest miss in the draft because I had to trade Melvin Gordon because Mike Williams is not doing well. So that's so far been my biggest famous last loser word.
word.
Yeah. What about you? You got any famous?
No, I'll probably just get pissed and leave the group chat again.
Oh, yeah.
Famous last.
Bruce, we have another group
Dramatic
chat without
exit.
you because
Yeah, we do.
Indeed. Yeah, it literally has everyone other than you because it's blue.
suck it,
all
Bruce.
blue.
Famous last word, suck it, Bruce.
So yeah, Brittany, any final thoughts on this week? Anything you want to get out there? Anybody you want to talk shit to?
Oh, not this week, but give me time.
Brittany is the queen.
It's hard to talk shit whenever you're at the bottom of the shit barrel, right?
It's
Right?
true. Brittany is the
Great.
queen
I'll say that.
of, we'll just be sitting there slinging insults back and forth at each other, and Brittany will just drop one and like sprinkle it, and it's just like a bomb. It's just
You won't
perfect.
hear from her in like 5 days,
Yeah.
and it's just one thing, and you're just like, ooh, savage.
Ooh, and everything else, like you say, screw you, whatever, eat a bag of dicks, whatever. Brittany, she goes right for the soul. It just, this podcast is rated like 14 or something. It's
It's got a
explicit.
mature rating.
Yeah, but Brittany, it just makes you want to
Fuck!
Yeah.
Makes you want to fuck. What?
Hold on. No, I'm kidding. But Brittany does. She's the queen of just the one zinger. And then she probably puts her phone down and chases the baby around for the rest of the week. That's probably why she's the queen of the one zinger, because that's all she has time for.
True story.
All right. So, is that it, everybody? Sloan, any last words? Anything?
What do you think? Say hi.
Yeet.
Say
You
hi.
say yeet?
Say yeet.
Too much pressure.
That's fine.
She just
Smack the
whacked the
microphone.
microphone.
All right. And signing off. Oh, there she goes. Now she can talk now. Don't put her. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Did she just poop? I smell.
You're pooping everywhere.
No, that's Roger's team.